It is very common activity. You don't need to basically read a string and then convert to a corresponding Java object. Spring Boot team already knows that string by nature, a JSON represented as a string, is not really useful for the developers. So Spring is giving you an option here. If you provide directly the Java class name, then Spring Boot will internally convert the string into Java class and then give you that object here directly so that you can use it as well. So guys, what learnings we are getting here? String by nature cannot be used for processing. It needs to be converted to Java class. We will write some class and something. But when you're trying to convert it into Java class, Spring knows that. Why should developers do that manually every time? So Spring is saying, whenever you're using this @request body, here instead of string, you directly give your Java class itself. I will do the conversion and give it to you. And then you simply call the getter methods and work with the business logic, simplifying life, basically, right? Let's quickly do that. Okay, incoming request structure. We will say, let's say, we will create a new class to represent that structure, and we say, okay, what is the parameters? Num. So let's say num request, num req. We will put this as part of .pojo package. Incoming request, we are placing it into .pojo package, num req, and then do a finish. Okay, next, what are the values? Num1, num2, private int num1, next private int num2, next generate getters and setters, right click, source, generate getters and setters, select all, generate toString, right click, source, generate toString, select those values, print it here, control D, control D, control D. Okay, fine, control A, control I for indentation. Okay, done. Request is created. So what was our first step? Create a Java class which represents the structure of the JSON. So we created a Java class which can have that structure. Second step is in the incoming request, whatever value is coming, that needs to be mapped to Java object. Now the point is, Spring Boot is taking one step forward. Okay, hey Java developer, we will convert it and give it to you. You just provide us the name of the Java object. So we can simply take it here and we can go back to our my controller, and instead of capturing it as a string, we can now put it as this one, Control Shift O. And let's see whether Spring Boot internally does the conversion and gives us the object here. So we are doing a save. No compilation problem, no service startup problem. Tomcat started on port 8080. Okay, fine, very good. Let's make an API call. Okay, so we go here, we go back, and now earlier this kind of JSON string was coming. Whatever we give, same thing was going. Now we are relying on Spring to convert it into a Java object, and here we should read that Java object. Maybe toString method data should be coming here. Let's check it out. Going here, shoot. Yes, this is the object representation. So what's happening? Spring Boot internally read your string request and even converted it into the Java object type. What is the second observation that we have learned? If we don't pass the number, we give the string, then Spring Boot is giving string directly to you. But if you are expecting some Java object, then Spring Boot is trying to convert the JSON string into that Java object and then give it to you. So Spring Boot is doing some smart work. Let's try to draw some conclusions here. Okay, let's try to draw some conclusions here. Okay, first, You can pass JSON request body while making API calls. Wonderful. Second, in controller, you can directly capture it as string. Okay, that's okay. But okay, however, you would need it to be represented by Java object structure. Okay, so instead of capturing it as string in controller, let's directly pass the Java object. What does this mean? We simply pass it like this. Okay. Spring Boot will check that you are expecting an object of num request. Then it tries to convert the incoming request JSON, your num request Java object type, and pass to your method. Wonderful. It's beautiful, saving so much time and effort. Okay, next. If you don't pass Java type and instead give string, then Spring Boot passes string directly. All these conclusions in multiple permutation combination can come during your interview time. So please practice today. Be clear on the basics today. Some more experimentation do and get good, strong knowledge. Solve your errors that will come today. Gain good knowledge. And this is another conclusion. Okay, let's put this into our Paint application also. So we go here. First, we take this copy. Okay, then we paste it here. Okay, JSON request body, that's fine. Now we are doing a second variation. I think we should take this full screenshot and even highlight this, and a full screenshot we will take, and then we can just put it one more variation here. Oops, we have reached to the end. It's not going further. So let's go. We will just put it somewhere here. Okay. So at least you can understand it's not a JSON now, it's some object here. And how did we do it? We simply added like this. F3 like this. Screenshot. Okay, here. And then we created simple like this. Using this, we were able to directly get it into Java object. Okay. Now one thing comes here, guys. How is Spring doing it? What is the name of the library? So Spring is using some JSON library for converting string to Java object or JSON to Java object, and vice versa wherever required. Okay, so what is the name of the library? JSON library is being utilized by Spring. If you want, it's already there in the class part. Okay, if you want to manually convert it, you can do that work also. Okay, so not really required, but if you want to just have a demonstration, let's say we switch it back to string. Okay, we switch it back to string. So JSON is going to come. And now you want to convert the string into your num object, num request. Okay, we can simply ask this ChatGPT to give us a sample code for this. Okay, give me Spring Boot JSON. In week 1, we used a JSON library. Now another library for conversion, JSON library to convert, okay, string JSON into object of this. Let's see, some code should come. Optional in Spring Boot, because JSON library by default is available. So you don't have to add any additional library. Like JSON, we needed to add, but JSON is already there, so you don't have to add it. Spring Boot is using it already, so we can also use it. Create a class, okay, we created. We just want conversion. How do we do conversion? Okay, just simple these 2 lines. It will help us in doing conversion. We can copy this, we can go here, and then we can go back to our controller and then take the string, Control-Shift-O, organize import. So object mapper is there in the class path, so we can check it out, and then take the request body, convert it into num request. Looks like it is throwing some try catch, so surround it with a try catch. Surround with the try catch. It comes here, and then whatever is the num value, I'm just printing it. Okay, so system.out.println. We don't use system, we use a logger. Stick with the basics. So private logger Control-Shift-O, SLF4J logger required, and then you come here and then you print it, logger.info my request equal to request, and that's what it is. And maybe this num object we can just pass equal to null. You take it and we give this num object as a return type for our string, so we can check the values. Nothing but we manually convert it. Okay, let's just put it exception and remove this rest of the drama. Okay, just for simplicity's sake. Okay, so we tried to receive it as string, and we used a same library which Spring Boot is using, which is a JSON library. It is object mapper that we use, and there is a method called as read value, takes the string, converts it into a Java object, gives it here, we are logging, and we are returning the same value back again. If it is failing in conversion, basically null should come back. Let's do the testing and see what happens. Okay, fine, we saved it. No compilation problem, no service startup problem. Tomcat started on 8080. Okay, wonderful. Okay, we come here and then we shoot from Postman. Let's see, earlier JSON string was coming like this. Now we are doing object conversion. Just check it out, guys. Converted into Java object, not automatically by Spring Boot, but manually by us, the developers. So just for experimenting sake, it's not required to do it manually, but in case sometimes you want to use a JSON library in the project codes anywhere, so you don't need to explicitly get any other conversion library like JSON. You can directly use even this kind of library also. For that demonstration, we are just checking this thing out. Okay, and yes, we have printed the value. Just see, my controller, we printed this num value, and num is printed as well. Okay, I think we have done quite some experimentation of passing the data to inside place. Guys, are we clear with it? Please give a quick thumbs up. Today, experiment all this. Okay, and guys, don't try to really memorize all these things. Experiment with this. Easy topic, same topic. I think all majority of you will know, but how to approach that needs deeper thinking. Okay, there are few more implementations. Like response body. Okay, @ controller, HTTP status code. Some more pending discussions are there. Okay, we will do that tomorrow. Okay, so some more pending discussion. Abhi kya kiye, entry leke chale gaye. Okay, let's do a quick summary of 5 minutes, then we will take the attendance and close it. Let's walk through only the paintbrush application. Okay, chalo guys, everybody, let's walk through the paintbrush application. REST related API standards also tomorrow we will discuss, because it's already time's up. Tomorrow, fresh mind, we will start with this. 3 principles of microservice we need to finish. We will do it tomorrow. Some API related response body processing, that we will see. We will see very interesting concept. REST API is built on top of Spring MVC. Okay, did you know this thing? This is interesting. Okay, so we have written everything here, and now let's say slash index.html, and it is a get method. Directly static content is gone. Alright, Spring Boot application we prepared with REST APIs, static content is being served just like that. Array, internally Spring MVC concept is there. On top of that, they have written this REST related layer. So some understanding about that. It's really interesting. Tomorrow we will discuss even that part. So guys, as part of tomorrow's session, we want to do some final closure of few things. For example, 3 principles of microservice. Principles of microservice we will finish. Next we will understand this rest of experimenting of APIs, basically REST APIs. So that we will be doing majorly about this MVC and REST related behavior, and some @response body, @response status, next response entity. So entry tak chala gaya. We took header and all, we went. Abhi return journey also is having some variations which we need to understand. Currently, every time we only return string and we did not focus on HTTP codes. Now tomorrow we want to analyze response journey also. Abhi to आधा आ गया. Now return response also we need to figure out. So that will be experimenting with this, and for response processing basically, let's just say API experimenting for response processing journey, and then we will be discussing REST API concepts. Okay? And then if time permits, then we will be getting into discussing about API, but anyways, discussing about Git, but anyways, we will plan that along with the project development. Okay? So let's maybe merge it there. So tomorrow we can even speak about the demo part. The today initial 20 minutes we muted. So let's not repeat that topic. It's already 3 hours done. So demo wala, tomorrow we will discuss. For now, anyways, not a problem. So I think tomorrow we will just do a full closure of these 10 days. And after that, week number 3 onwards, we will get started with project development. And our first aim will be to build PayPal provider service. Whatever is required for this, we need to do. OAuth implementation we will be doing, and we will be targeting to do create order API. But however, on Monday, week 3, day 1, we will do a sprint planning meeting. As part of that, we will finalize what features we will be finishing in the 2 weeks of time. So Monday we will do that discussion, okay, during the sprint planning meeting. For now, so let's just do the final scroll of this notepad, okay, and then we will close. Guys, we are all backend developers. We need to write our backend part of code based upon the mechanisms which are existing in the world. MVC was all mixed. It evolved. View went outside, and backend controller business logic stays outside. Earlier, request was coming in. Responses were going in the form of view. That model changed. Request should be data. Response should be data. All our APIs that we experimented today, request was data, response was data, string always, response is given, never HTMLs. Our coding, we gave responses. Okay, next, how do you do this? Basically, our entire model is saying communication should be based on a lightweight protocol. So REST over HTTP. That means the outer world has access only to HTTP protocols and HTTP standards. So they can only use HTTP standards, not what your technology is doing. Golang might have a different way. We are using @REST controller, Golang, Node.js, Python. Everybody will have their own ways to code, but commonness will be these HTTP standards. Regardless of what project you go, this left-hand side HTTP standards will remain the same. How do you do it on the right-hand side? The implementation part, that will change from project to project. So we need to understand both the aspects here, HTTP aspects, plus how to do it as a Java Spring Boot developer. So this knowledge is required, both mapping. With any one, you cannot really survive. Next, with HTTP, we started realizing endpoint is mapped how. This is linked to controller how. When you call this, how it reaches to the method. What is get mapping? When we pass get. Post mapping, when we pass post. When to use get, when to use post as part of REST API standards, tomorrow's discussion. Next, later, we went into furthermore experimenting. You can add more path here. The way PayPal has done what? V2/checkout/order, V2/checkout/order. Next, what is this API versioning? Again, part of tomorrow's discussion when we discuss REST API. API versioning concept, V1, V2. Tomorrow we will be discussing even that part. Next, when we scroll down, okay, you can pass with slash, without slash. If you want to use both, you have to configure both. Otherwise, like this. Okay, next. How can you pass data? Once method is identified, how do you pass data? It can be passed as request params. It can be passed as path parameter. Request params, pass it like this, read it like this. Path variable, pass it like this, read it like this. You can have multiple path variables. You can have a combination, mix and match, all possible. Headers, you can pass here, you can read here. Next, request body, multiple variations, you can pass here, read here. JSON based, you can pass here, read here. We are able to get from this outer world using HTTP calls, reach to your microservice, reach to your controller and give the data. That means now controller can call service layer for business logic processing. And once that returns, we have to give the response back. What we know is when the response goes back, it has to be again data. But some more variations in response we need to understand. That is again part of tomorrow's topic. So once this journey comes back, HTTP mastery will happen, and at the same time, how to build your own controller with details will happen. Then we can focus on writing our business logic, which is OAuth implementation, create order API integration, payment status management, all that coding. So step by step, we are getting into building the application. Good stuff, everybody. Let's take a quick attendance and then we will be stopping the session today, guys. Good, everybody. Okay, we are going it from the very base till building it concrete layer by layer. Good stuff, guys. Please mark the attendance. Please mark the attendance, everybody. And showcase all this knowledge during interview. Okay, interview it should look like you are very humble, down to earth, knowledgeable person, wants to share with them and do great projects. Aisa attitude should reflect from your personality. Okay, maza aega. In interview, passion should be displayed. I am not just a regular developer. I am passionate to work in the IT industry and I am the right person. People are looking for them. Chalo, code for today is 1111. And then this is the link, guys. Please mark your attendance, everybody. Meanwhile, we will stop the recording. Chalo, guys, good stuff, everyone. Please mark your attendance. What are the main learnings that you got from session? Try to just put it there. Whatever thoughts are running. Stopping the recording. Stopping the YouTube private record also. Stopping the stream as well. Stop transcript.